Et salut à tous, c'est Goubi. On se retrouve sur Disco Elysium à la recherche de rubis avec notre oh yeah, du bois bien rasé. Ah, pas bête. Peut-être mieux que le sabre. +1 à l'économie sociale masoviste.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov.
Okay,
There is a
Mazov.
spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait. Years' worth of dust is
J'ai
shaken
boosté le
off.
tableau.
The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand, grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass
Regardez
of a
Kim.
scope. You shudder.
C'est le camarade Mazov.
Yes, I can see that. Looks like some communists were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
Il y a combien de
Half a
temps?
century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
Une, c'est cache d'armes secrètes et bunkers
We
secrets.
have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
On va peut-être déménager
I
ici.
won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case.
Est-ce que le portrait pourrait être lié à la statuette de Mazov que vous avez retrouvée dans la chambre de l'étudiant?
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff.
Qui est venu ici
You
récemment?
mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost...
Lieutenant, vous ressentez quelque chose?
No, what do you mean?
Une douleur d'un picotement
I don't
étrange.
feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh.
Moi aussi j'ai vu les empreintes de pas, la semelle droite était usée.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully.
Que voulez-vous
Once we
dire?
detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace and it will start breaking down. And keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
Avoir de nous cacher des infos, on devrait peut-être le cuisiner.
You're
avant.
right. However corrupt he may be, nothing happens in Martinez without him knowing. We might have to dirty our hands, but...
In this case, we can't afford to be squeaky clean.
Joyce nous a révélé tout ce qu'il savait sur le meurtre, mais j'ai peut-être d'autres sujets de conversation à aborder avec elle. Non.
Yes, there won't be time for that once things go down. Matter of fact, I don't think there's time for it now.
If you must.
À quel point la situation peut-elle s'aggraver?
We are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
Let's try not to worry, he thinks. If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars?
Ce qui nous
I think
attend.
we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain is not malicious. She doesn't want to hurt you, but she has to. Doesn't wish to hurt you, not according to your ear canals. Wait, no, not even your ear canals. This
Quoi les oreilles?
nobody. That's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of... Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Ce qui
I'm
m'arrive.
using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing is the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Vu vos équations, ce sont les ondes du
Saw
LAN.
my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at.
You should probably check on Kim. That's what good partners do.
Right behind you, officer.
The torment Lieutenant Kitsuragi is experiencing is worse than your own, but he's slowly
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
Pourquoi c'est satané? Oh, ça a décoté
I
ça.
built it myself.
And she's proud of it too.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah, way beyond.
Vous l'avez fait l'expérience du compresseur
Yeah,
aussi?
I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
Comme ça pour toujours.
Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. You're big boys. You can handle it. Stop being so damn melodramatic.
Damn this.
God damn it. Fine, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She's carrying a 2-barreled front loader. Remain careful. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this.
83% quand même. Mettre à la machine. Yes.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but
C'est bien Kim.
All good, officer. Be careful.
she looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
Tu veux fabriquer?
Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes, it is.
Bon.
You should know the words to say. You've been here yourself. So why is it not coming to you?
Pourquoi je reste idiot comme
Because
vu
you've
qu'un
been
idiot?
going around pointing a gun at yourself, trying to answer the same question in vain. Her finger squeezes the trigger now.
Elle ne mérite pas de mourir comme
A
ça.
smirk crosses her face as she watches you stand there, mute. Then she exhales sharply, shakes her head, and pulls the trigger. You watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
Bon, très bien. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait
We
maintenant?
clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need to move it somewhere. That tent there.
The plain red tent. It was pitched by practiced hands. She was used to camping out.
Il y en a à
You
l'intérieur.
see a rolled up sleeping bag and personal belongings.
We should put her in the sleeping bag, so the rats don't get to her.
Il y a des bronzes
The
là ici.
lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag. surrounded by empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines. Magazines. You should look through them.
Éclairer les livres et les magazines avec la lampe torche.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
Non mais ça c'est con, franchement, sais-tu comment je vais faire
See
maintenant?
anything?
Ça avait l'air compliqué de la dissuader, ou alors peut-être qu'en allant voir rare.
Rega
Oh là là.
Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook.
Un
You
calepin.
pocket the worn brown leather journal. She watches by, motionless.
We should read this immediately.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
Examiner la
It's
couverture.
made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. This was important to her when it was still hers.
Faire la
The
lanière.
journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
Respecter
The large
l'écriture
cursive
manuscrite.
of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
Feuilleter le
It's a
livre.
mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
We could learn a lot from this.
Quel genre de
Hard to
logistique?
tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism.
Que représentent les diagrammes?
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Truc personnel?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. Staff issues. Always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal.
Quand on remonte l'entrée la plus
The
ancienne.
first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
Qu'a-t-elle écrit le jour de la mort de Laylee?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it.
L'entrée la plus récente.
The most recent entry is from today. Even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed. Too bad we didn't really get to hear her side of the story.
This whole thing was a detour, and a fatal one. Don't get emotional.
Bon, qu'est-ce que veut dire par
By the
piéger?
Hardy Boys, by Glacier, by us.
Et d'après vous, qui l'a tué?
Could have been Titus. Then again,
Je pense pas lui. Je
either
pense...
way, we need to keep an eye on him. Somewhere along the way, we might have been fed a lie or two.
Ah oui, il va
One
voir
thing
clair.
is for certain. We have business back in the whirling and rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Eh bah, dis donc. Ça c'est juste que je pense que j'aurais pu arriver par là. C'est quoi qu'ils appellent la promenade?
Hello, mister. Bye.
Is that the phasmid? It looks like the phasmid. Wait. What if this is the fishing rod situation all over again? It's not the phasmid. It's not even organic. It's a fire eye. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Ah oui,
You
d'accord.
couldn't have known that for sure. And besides,
Ah oui, après il fallait que je... Je sais pas si je devais chercher des trucs près de l'église.
the silence in this part of the church, it's almost... Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be good. And then it's gone. You can hardly hear your own. You produce a few muffled thumps. Your voice is barely audible. It's unnerving. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head.
Can you hear anything?
Tant
I
que
wonder
dalle.
why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how
Finalement,
uncomfortable.
étrange se produit autour de
The
nous.
lieutenant doesn't reply. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible,
Allez.
then disappear completely. Just darkness without end. It makes your head... There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark.
Officer, what are you looking at?
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive. The crab man.
Qui va là?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
Bon
Here
endroit.
you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. Hey, and what was that about? The bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already.
Je suis policier, je suis là pour faire mon
Oh
boulot.
yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here. Not all of it. I was like you once.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
The only thing we need to talk about is how the mother can really help you, Holmes. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
This Mother of Silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be
Tu retrouves
careful.
l'autre frappe à
Other
gang.
spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Seconde, il y a quelqu'un d'autre et c'est une Vegeta.
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young.
Ça se
That's
trouve.
what I said, Holmes.
Même curieux, vous habitez tous les deux
Don't
ici,
really
non?
follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then.
Vous avez rien d'autre
We
à me
got
dire.
different
À quoi
interests.
ressemble-t-elle?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
Or search through her radio computer.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me. Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached.
Too many times, Essay.
No need to overdo it. He won't mind sharing it with you.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
That is true.
What you think of that? I think we're done here, Essay.
That was, however,
The machine's keyboard, the speaker.
Good afternoon. Votre is good. Please repeat. Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a
Parce
while.
que c'est lié à
Our
l'affaire.
case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
Regarde le deuxième billet.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. See? Even one of the spookers. What was that about narcotics? This could.
I doubt that we can find any. It's just idle fishermen's gossip to scare away the kids. Nothing spooky about this place either. It's just abandoned and
Le
cold.
troisième billet.
7th of February, 51. Finally, got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking
Pas besoin d'une
Why
antenne.
would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen. Artists, yet again. Harassing citizens, stealing badges, occupying public spaces with installations. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Perte de données.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Qui s'exercent les programmeurs
I think
Lexing?
these people worked in the radio computer games business, the one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former...
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to...
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some money.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
C'est
The
ça.
lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my... That disco man must be a cell.
C'est moi celle.
Girl on the ice? Sounds...
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
C'est moi.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a...
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
D'une affaire index pour le compte d'organisateur de concert. Info, vous savez, je suis une piste miracle pour retrouver mon identité.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
What is it?
Un cassé, pas vrai?
You just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
Vous savez pas par hasard la programmeuse en chef de Viral, le Cataclysme?
Or, no. Not anymore.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
Qu'est-ce que vous fabriquez
I
ici?
am Sona Luutkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Je fais là toutes ces
I
machines.
brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
J'ai besoin
I
d'une
use
antenne.
the AR1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit. Mm-hmm. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
Pas vraiment.
Alright. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
C'est une bonne
I
antenne.
guess it is. So far, I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly, but it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieux dedicated to that sort of.
She liked telling me this. It calmed her
Qu'est-ce que vous
nerves.
fabriquez avec votre
I'm
radio?
working.
The machine seems
Par quoi?
Could you just shh for a moment, or get to the point?
It's not just rudeness. It really...
Yeah.
Great.
C'est dans une église
You
abandonnée.
really like those questions, don't you?
They're bloodshot.
J'ai
She
fait pose
really...
question.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
Quel genre
I'm
de
looking
recherche?
for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal... The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Est-ce que le trou est lié à la perte de données mentionnée dans
Yes,
l'enregistre?
that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
Trou dans le monde, c'est dire quoi?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
J'aimerais le résoudre et rentrer chez moi.
Measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts, in everyday parlance.
À peu près, on peut trouver ce trou.
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out.
Pas
Strange.
cet endroit.
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates. I know.
C'est que l'homme crame une part de responsabilité.
She sounds mildly annoyed by
Dès
this.
que vos chers n'avancez pas, pourquoi
Because
ça?
it's just trial and error, trying to locate the swallow, the exact point, and I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop
C'est
talking
tout ce
and
que je
let
voulais
me
savoir
work.
au sujet du terrifiant trou de 2 mm dans la réalité pour l'instant.
Great. Thanks.
C'est quoi de la Nordic
What?
Dance Music?
I hate it. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping.
Une boîte de nuit spéciale
No
dans la
idea
Donic
what it-
Dance.
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to. Take a guess, why don't you? I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you?
Good luck. I'm not coming in.
The mother of human.
Uh-huh.
Good to see you, friend. So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on... See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every... You know...
He's finding it.
What? This guy...
Conversation might bring a discount.
Oh, I got one of... Didn't stop
pourrais
me
savoir.
for It was. Those arseholes. The idiot fight through too.
Don't say it.
So what do you want?
His tone is the alcohol boiling his blood causes
In the civilized...
the not.
Don't you call her? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Abigail never thought you'd see.
Don't.
I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet. Still running around. Aye, but don't let it grow too much. This is not the place to settle down. Now, what's on your mind, officer? Oh, that's good. This calls for a funeral, if you ask me. Police business.
Peut-être que je peux faire des voyages rapides, mais bon.
Stop. Just up ahead. Danger. What you have isn't enough. You'll need more firepower. A ranged weapon.
Je sais pas si je suis prêt.
Then you'd better get ready. Whatever happens, I've got your back.
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning. Put your damn gun down. Shut up. You're not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers reach for the butt of his sidearm. There's something very wrong with him.
Shh. This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
The Kypt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Corti.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street? This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas?
He is facing overwhelmingly superior firepower, and he knows it.
Peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely...
Fuck, there's a third one. How did we miss something like this?
The lieutenant is genuinely worried for his life. You should consult him before getting in there.
My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene.
He doesn't want to, but...
The Mercenary Tribunal.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
I think he's calmed down a bit. No, he didn't. He's about to open fire. You can't think that way now. This is serious.
Pig fuck!
Personne n'a cru aujourd'hui.
People are gonna die today. We're not leaving it like this. These tribals hung him up for everyone to see.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer loads his long rifle. The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. You feel your fists contract as you stand there between these men, all carrying. Even if it comes to a fight, it's always a good idea to drag it out. Get under his skin. Peace. Always peace. It has worked thus far. Start with the first idea you have.
Parler du pendu.
Of course.
What?
Nothing bad will happen. Talk about his dead friend. He seems stable enough to take it.
Don't fucking talk to me about my brother, Loincloth.
Okay, yes. Immediate failure. Things are worse.
C'est qui ça?
Rude. Rude is the killer. Rude, the killer. Owen Cloven. He doesn't talk much.
All of you cunts inside out.
Le tueur.
The gunner. The raddest. The killer. What do you think he does? Smart, Loincloth. He fucks natives up. Soldier of the apocalypse style.
Peut-être ne rien faire.
Who did that?
Enfin, pour tout comprendre.
You had time to fuck around in that church, to run errands for your union chief. I saw you.
Time is up, Loincloth. Give me a name.
C'était quelqu'un d'autre qui n'est pas là.
How fucking convenient.
T'es abattu par un sniper.
You think I'm fucking stupid, cop? How about the kid? Tell me. Magic fucking
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead court marshal won't decide who...
He's gonna do it. He's gonna shoot her.
Allez.
Your mind
Oh
grinds to a halt. All you can see is the revolver.
Elle était même pas là.
A plume of smoke erupts from the muzzle. The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. Then...
I'm okay. I'm okay.
She's not. She's bleeding out. If she doesn't get help in 10 minutes, she'll die.
Fuck this!
Gene! Cancel Lizzie! Now!
All right.
Oh, let's go.
This is an illegal tribunal. Krenno would never sanction this. Really, none of this looks like it's good. You only have time for one argument. Choose wisely.
Si vous devez traîner depuis la mort de votre colonel.
I am a Grinnell major with over 15 years of live combat experience. When my colonel gets hanged by clay monkeys, I lead the platoon on a retaliation
Le plus haut gradé
strike.
de vous trois.
Nah, I just have the biggest gun.
Technically, the other man has the biggest gun. But we're beyond that now.
C'est quoi le grade le plus
King
élevé chez
Reaper.
Krenel? Tant qu'il est l'air de ce groupe, reconsidérez vos actions, on peut éviter ce
You're
bain de sang.
right. But you see, I want it to end in bloodshed.
Okay, it's not much. But he's thinking about something else. And his hand is off
Vous
the
êtes tous
gun.
bourrés,
Yes.
regardez-vous.
So what?
Votre jugement est affecté, vous allez le regretter.
I'm clear as day. Fucking government ordained super soldier.
Enough already! What is this? We didn't come here to fucking chat!
Interrupt me again and I will execute you on the spot, Lance Corporal.
J'ai besoin où Ecclesia peut tout
Who the
expliquer.
fuck is that?
Glacia, the woman upstairs, where is she?
She left!
Vous
What
foutez
am I
là.
doing? My fucking establishment is under fire! You know how much windows cost?
Bon, ça, elle est partie.
She left! Her room's cleaned out! Right before these assholes showed up!
We should have arrested her.
You can feel how upset he is with himself. Just for a second. Then the fear takes over and he's back in the moment.
Hey, Bushman! Your little cunt isn't gonna help you out of this one! You think I care what that company cunt thinks?
À l'instant, elle sait que vous êtes hors contrôle, elle me l'a dit.
She's gone, you stupid fuck! Sailed off 5 minutes ago. She doesn't give a shit about you, son. Stay cool! How is she?
I'll be okay. I'll be...
She'll be gone soon, too. Company bitch is gone. Laylee's cunt is gone. Laylee's gone. Fuck are we still doing in this shithole?
Guys, I just get in the way. I don't even have a gun!
Hold your ground! Any more of you run, I'll shoot you myself. We're doing this together.
They're afraid. All of them. Trembling reeds and... No. The rest will stay.
Je prends toi mon flingue.
I can't hear you. Sounds like you got your mouth full of dick. Rude.
Shit. This is it. Tell him anything. Tell him you have more information.
Tuez-moi et vous saurez jamais qui a tué votre frère, je vous ai pas tout dit.
Kill him.
The porcelain man raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His hands are steady. You stare down the barrel of the gun. You see Rude's mask behind it. His eyes in the slit of the... Is there anything? Anything? We could use a full suit of armor can't be too agile. You can shift direction faster than... Just dodge the first shot. And the second will be easier. Drunks are quick to anger. And make mistakes. The shot... Something violently tugs at your shoulder, pushing you backwards.
J'ai loupé, quoi. Ça marche pas, ok.
A volcano of burning pain. The pain flows over your entire body like an awful shock. A grim note.
God, please.
Then, 2 shots at once, and you hear a scream. But you're too hurt to see Glenn dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out. Oh God, watch out. You see 2 cold eyes looking at you through all the smoke and panic, and a pistol raised, aiming at your chest. A look of happiness. His eyes seem unnaturally. Here it comes. Death.
Voilà, c'est mort.
You can't. There is no time. Something inside your...
Tu vas me dire que je fais tout le jeu là, pendant je sais pas combien de dizaines d'heures et je vais crever.
Everything goes dark. A distant nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them.
You're bleeding out.
Tu veux dire exercer de fonction, c'est pas si mal.
Keep talking. Stay awake. Look.
But you can't. It's so hard. A shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising his pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see it. He's pushing down on your wound with both hands. No, you scream. Behind you, from your bloody lips. Your eyes are... There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant turns around and fires, his body falling on you. You hear a roar of pain, a death scream. The sound disappears like someone pressed stop on the tape.
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door.
Tu me retournes au combat.
Fight? There is no fight. The fight is over. It was lost. He's not taking it. His body is not taken and rotting and being disinfected.
He can't go. Not before the case is solved. There was a radio in the distance. A radio of the world.
Donc j'aurais peut-être dû trouver l'arme avant.
Good morning, Elysium. Soon you will return to the world. You're thirsty. Reach for the...
Hours turned to days. It was him. He is the
Je sais pas s'il y avait
He never stops.
une possibilité de faire autrement. En tout cas, si ça se finit comme ça et que je sais même pas qui a vraiment tué le gars...
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns...
Sunrise, Parabellum.
C'est dit Sunrise?
Sunrise, Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. The
gars
gates of
aujourd'hui?
the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt. I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely.
Yeah.
Yes, we have also completely failed, but that's okay. Yes, the joke wasn't funny anymore. I took it pretty bad, officer. You've suffered 2 wounds. The first is below your shoulder. The bullet passed through your shoulder blade, luckily missing your lung. And the second shot hit you in the thigh, the left quadriceps. No major arteries were nicked, but the bullet had to be removed. We will see.
You won't be able to dance much, that's for sure. You
Ok. Je crois que c'était un rêve au début.
Easy now.
Your balance is way off. You feel like...
How are you?
Mes jours disco sont derrière moi.
Disco days should have been done quite a while back, Lieutenant Leafrater.
La chambre c'est propre.
Mr. Gart cleaned it. It took him an entire day.
Mais en même temps je suis resté évanoui.
2 days, in and out. You've been...
Qu'est-ce qui s'est
What
passé?
happened? We tried to take the diplomatic route and hoped they wouldn't attack first. They did. The Major gave the command. As retaliation, the rifleman shot you. He hit. With his carabine. I was looking for a clear line of sight. When I found it, I shot and wounded him. while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. He did not survive.
This is not the first person to die.
Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo died before they made it to intensive care. Titus died in the hospital yesterday. Alain and the young musician, I forget his name, they are all that's left.
Titus est mort et tout. Ah ouais.
Yes. You were bleeding out by then. You warned me. I was able to disarm Cortana before he got the jump on me.
Thank you. Although
I was not able to kill him, as I should have. Crenel took him. A stray bullet killed the Pole, though. And that's what happened.
Titus est mort. Et le Major?
He's in a private hospital across the river. Crenel claimed him from the local butcher shop where Titus died.
there is unveiled anger in his voice.
We won't get to him anymore. The good news is he's not 5. Glenn, Theo, Angus, the fat one. He took a lot of bullets. And Titus. And Elizabeth too. Elizabeth Beaufort was her name. The guard... No, she bled out before Everard's surgeon could help her. Everard sent his personal doctor, but... a costly loss for the Union.
C'est mieux présenter la théorie à leur chef.
She never had a chance. She should not have been there in the first place.
Stop this line of thought now. You're
all.
Un désastre.
Yes, officer. 6 people are dead. It's not a success.
+1. Ruby.
But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. And we are still alive.
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies. His smoking, his hunched back.
I honestly don't know.
Ouais, j'en sais rien non plus.
Talk to Everard. The harbor is in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our... Yes,
parti.
She left yesterday morning. To meet the board of Wild Pines. Or that is what I've heard. There's a pin somewhere in the machine that keeps Connell from sending in a death squad. Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her hand. Either way, Ruby's gone. And Classio too. We really should have arrested her, you know?
Qui l'a fait alors? Qui me tu
I
l'as
don't know.
pendu?
I think the theory you presented, it's someone else, outside our circle of suspects, was right. It better be. Everyone within the circle is either dead or gone. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect.
Il y a le trou dans le mur.
I don't know. That's been there for years.
Les putains d'empreintes.
Yes. God curse the footprints, not solving the
Encore
case
28%
for us.
chance que...
We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this. What else?
Il y a tous ces vieux bunkers et caches d'armes aux alentours. Hein.
We could find thousands more if we wanted.
But they seemed so
Mais pas grave, c'est
mysterious.
inutile.
No need to be melodramatic.
C'est ce que je pense de résoudre des
He
crimes.
arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
It can feel that way sometimes, yes.
Pas prêt à abandonner.
No. Are you ready to limp? Good.
Prêt.
Where do you want to limp to?
A gust of wind blows in from the bay. The duraluminium box around you
À l'étage.
Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't...
Allez ouvrir cette porte maintenant. Bon, en tout cas, je vous remercie d'avoir suivi jusque-là. Encore quel épisode. Et faut vraiment qu'on finisse cette enquête dans le prochain épisode si possible. On va essayer de tout donner. Merci à tous d'avoir suivi et à la prochaine.